Hello, everyone. Uh, so I live in Connecticut. I'm a limo driver, and I have driven quite a few children in this area of Greenwich, New Canaan area, and basically the richest towns in the U.S. They are definitely the most powerful, very close to Manhattan, and the kids, sometimes the nanny couldn't take the children to the soccer practice or ballet lessons or whatever activity they had, so they actually called a limo. Not a taxi, a limo to drive their kids into practices. And so I actually, I am always interested how children really think. Now, in southwestern Connecticut, especially Fairfield County, the closest point to Manhattan has all the money in the world. It is just brutal. So, I'm always interested in kids' opinion, and they told me honestly because I kind of befriended them. And it turns out that basically all the children I have driven are already prejudiced. They are not just racist, they are prejudiced, uh, expense to poor people, all kinds of races, or anyone who is not like them. They have their society, and they don't even want to get out of that society. They just, they love it. And I had a chance to talk to some children, and they are hopeless. They have this fear of their parents because their parents are such a powerful people. They actually exercise the same thing at home, and their kids basically have to listen to them and basically have to agree with them, and it doesn't just come. It continues throughout their life until they are totally comfortable, supporting themselves. But usually it doesn't happen like that. They are already supported. They have these people have more money that their grandchild's great grandchild's would be rich forever. So as I'm talking to these children, it really surprised me the soul that they have no soul. They had no soul. They looked at everyone as different. All they cared about their success, and I gotta tell you, in these towns, the kids who go to college, and I'm not talking about community college. I'm talking about all the Yale, Harvard, and Stanford, and all the Ivy League, and private universities in Vermont. I actually driven them there, and just because they go through so many years of brainwashing through their parents that they are totally different from everyone else just because they have all the money and all the power in the world. And it was so disappointing seeing children having no own opinion, and their soul has been and their mind has been damaged, and it pretty much lasts them forever. The 10% or 15% who get out of this horrible circle can become, like real humans with compassion. these children I have driven had zero compassion. It was one of the worst thing I have seen in my life, because I have driven their parents, and I totally understand, that they are soulless, and they try to squeeze all the money out of everything, and they love the idea of keeping everyone poor so they can control them. And obviously I'm a professional, so when they started talking about how uh, everyone in welfare is a low life, and I just ask simple questions. It's like, so everyone in West Virginia or in Ohio, or Mississippi or Alabama, who are on welfare because they can't find a job, because there are no jobs there, and they have to somehow eat. But I said it the nicest possible way, and they actually, after the trip, just because I had an opinion, they called the limo company, and the limo company reprimanded me. Yeah, I remember I worked for this New York limo company called Lero's in Westchester County, which is just right next to Connecticut, and they actually started yelling at me that I should not have an opinion. And I learned from it just to keep my job. And welcome to hell. It's called Connecticut. Joe Rogan, I saw one of the video on YouTube, has felt the same way. It is like a really, really bad vibe. VIBE. I have issues with the V's and W's because in Hungarian it sounds totally different. So. But anyway, they have a horrible vibe here. Now you have to know that this has been the richest state forever. It's absolutely beautiful here. We have the ocean, the Long Island Sound, and it's beautiful hills, and end of October the trees turn into 30 different colors. And the middle class here is the least prejudiced people I have met, because I travel throughout the United States because I love to see other states. And I met, the in the other states, the bad ones, but the vibe, this whole feeling is basically horrible in Connecticut. And I know that I would have been so much happier if I moved to Arizona or California or Colorado or something like that, where they are much more easygoing. First of all, I can't afford it. I have 2 cats, and it absolutely terrifies me, because I just drove them from one apartment to the next once, and their reaction was horrible. So but also I have basically uh, uh, I love New York. I'm sorry. I'm just saying there is some honesty there. It's not the easygoing uh, attitude that they have in other states, but there is something real here. As long as you stay away from Fairfield County, Connecticut, and Westchester County, New York, I think they are not horrible, although I met people in other areas of Connecticut who were just as horrible as these people. But the middle class here is one of the nicest and most tortured people you can imagine, what we are going through. Uh, I hope that something will change here, and I hope that the children are not going to be brainwashed by their parents and they're not gonna think about other people as low lives just because we don't belong. We don't belong with them. And they let you know that you don't belong with them. Every time they let you know. Their parents are so condescending and so abusive, you need like the thickest skin to survive. But I did it. I did it for 20 years, and I have driven over 1.5 million miles, and I had thousands of passengers who were just some of the most powerful people in the world. But if you want to be happy and you want your soul or mind not to be damaged by these people, stay away from Connecticut. Stay away from Connecticut. I love you. Namaste.